Tritone and welcome on my guitar lesson YouTube channel. First thing, please subscribe to my guitar lesson channel. Second thing, please like my video. So today we're going to do an interesting lesson on the tritone substitution. So what is the tritone substitution? First of all, we're working on a 2-5-1 in the key of C. So we're playing D minor 7, we're playing G7 and C major 7. So what happens here? I'm going to substitute the dominant chord, which is the G7, and there's a rule here. I can replace it by its tritone. Remember the Diavolo Blues in Musica. And that way there, I'm going to replace it by another 7 chord here, and it's going to be, so a tritone, you go 3 steps higher or lower, you're going to have D flat or C sharp. So here, we're going to be playing on the D flat here. So I'm just going to play. Now replace it by D minor 7, D flat 7, and C major 7. So if I play all of it there, so 5th degree, C major 7, the second time playing D minor 7, D flat 7. So you probably heard that ending pretty often. You can even hear in rock or punk music. It's a very common little chromatic movement here that's going to bring the resolution on the 1st degree. So what to use here to play? So we're in the key of C, so we can use C major for improvising, and also A minor pentatonic. So I could use this here if I'm in a more bluesy mode here. But we could also work with the arpeggios here. That's possible if you want to give a more jazzy touch here. Something else here I'm trying to do and use is to resolve my chords by ending on the 7th or the 3rd of the C major 7. So it will work better. And you have some notes in between those arpeggios here right now that are going to match here and work with all the arpeggios and scales. So all this is really good, and that's how it's going to make it more, make it flow better in your playing. So let's take, for example, a first little example here. So with the D flat 7. So you hear here, I'll play the arpeggio of D minor 7. And I ended up on the E, which is the major 3rd of C major 7. So I'm just using portions of the arpeggio here to work it out. So take your time to practice it here and enjoy, loop your chords here with a D minor 7, D flat 7, and C major 7. So here I have 2 beats for D minor 7, 2 beats for D flat 7, and 4 beats for C major 7. But you could, for example, use 4 beats for D minor 7, 4 beats for D flat 7, and 4 beats or longer for C major 7, just to make you more comfortable and maybe slow down the speed also to practice it. On the second example here, we're going to use a A-flat minor melodic here. And such as arriving on the D flat 7, this would be the 4th degree of minor melodic. So that would be the leading dominant chord, mode here, and more commonly called the Bartók mode from the famous musician composer Bela Bartók. So you're going to give more jazzy touch in your playing. You can also call it modern blues if you want to make it work a bit more bluesy right here. So we're gonna work out a little lick here using this minor melodic right here. you've seen here, I'm starting with some notes of C major in the key of C major or A minor. And after I'm still using some notes that are in both scales here that I can find in this mode here, this fourth mode here, and resolving like this here. That's a cool lick. And you can even adapt it here. If you want to give a more bluesy touch to your playing. This could be called what we call modern blues. Now let's get a third example here where I'm going to use a diminished arpeggio. And the reason why is that you have notes in common with C scale and also with the arpeggio here that we're playing right here. And that's the reason why this is working right here. So same thing here. I'm going to play the example. So right here, I use the a diminished arpeggio here, starting, of course, on here on the G sharp or A flat. Okay, so you have in common ground with A flat modern melodic also here. Arriving on the B, and after you have the G and we have the E here when we're resolving on the C major. And that's so cool. So you can mix all this up here. And if you ever have in your improvisation that 2-5-1 with that substitution, tritone substitution here, these are the main elements that you can use definitely for enhancing your improvisation. I hope you had a good time on this lesson. You will find this lesson also on my Patreon, and it's really cheap to subscribe. So enjoy the lesson, and if you have any questions, you can always drop a comment.